But I feel like whether you're being honest or no matter what you do while handling a hot potato, I guess you're just always going to be throwing the hot potato under the bus.
Yeah, but in this case, Patton threw Dave under the bus, but also kept holding his hand. So he also went under the bus a bit with him.
Ooh, are we currently crafting a metaphor that will fit nicely into a Tucker and Todd premise?
Quite possibly, literal bus throwing.
Yeah, throwing somebody under a bus but holding their hand.
Just being unable to let go despite throwing them under the bus so that you take yourself down with them.
And does your whole body also get sucked under the tire tread with them, or does it like it simply breaks your arm?
Oh, I think you should wind up with a comical tire tread over your torso or your back. So only part of you winds up under the bus, but it's the important part of you.
But did the person you threw under the bus die? Do
Oh,
bus throwers ever have survivor's guilt?
Does anybody have to die in this scenario, or do they just get like tire tracks like they're Looney Tunes?
I guess it could. I guess, and you could also recycle. You could show that people throw other individuals under the bus multiple times, so you can retread that ground. Huh?
Oh yeah, some people have been thrown under the bus more than once, and they get just like repeated crisscrossing tire tracks.
That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna put a pin in that then, and then we can curve around into our topic for today.
Right, certainly. As for Dave, he's just getting old.
Yeah,
That's definitely what it is. Is he's just getting old, and things are changing faster than he is.
he, I was about to make like Bob Saget joke, but I don't want him to die.
I didn't want Bob Saget to die. I don't want anybody to die.
I don't want anybody to die ever. That's never a thing that I wish. I wish that person was dead. I frequently wish that person would shut up.
Yeah, I do. I do wish that I was dead sometimes, but not other people.
It's a better solution for all of our problems.
Yeah, that's the only way to eliminate every single problem I'll ever have.
This man is for the birds. Okay, but today Tucker and Todd are picking up from where they were last week, which is New Mexico.
Yep, we are in New Mexico. That we just suffered a whiteout, a Skylar whiteout.
A Skylar Whiteout, yes. We flashed out, yeah.
Yeah, and so when we come to, we re-enter the building, and everybody is gone except, of course, for Walt, who is still trying to get into that office. The door to which is unlocked, and we just step in.
So is this episode picking up then with us inside the office?
It ended just as we closed the door. If we want, we can skip the office if there's nothing important going on in there. We wanted to talk to Gollum's wife.
Right. I'm not sure. Actually, so maybe what I'm about to suggest will actually, what's the word? Funnel into that nicely, or whatever words hard sometimes. Flow actually is what I meant to say.
A word good.
So on the last on the last episode, because we were picking up from a premise from several weeks ago, is when we did our original monomyth episode. Was like a month ago now. We started that episode with sort of a flashback. Oh, we did a flashback of like how kind of the way that the Lord of the Rings started with Smeagol, or so the Return of the King started with like Smeagol, how Smeagol became Gollum kind of thing. We did how our Smeagol character became Gollum by way of his. Well, we've developed this a little bit since then. It's a big Breaking Bad parallel where his stepbrother is into cryptocurrency or whatever, and says all
big
these
into
guys,
big into crypto. He knows the blockchain.
he knows the blockchain, and he knows all these guys have been getting fat and rich off of blockchain and all these NFTs, and that's what prompts Smeagol to get into it as well. And Smeagol also idolizes Walter White. So when the monomyth comes into his possession, he realizes that he could break bad also, and he wants to break bad like Walter White did, but he's not quite successful. He bottoms out and becomes Gollum as we know him. So since we did a flashback to that point, could this episode start with a flashback of some sort? That I don't know. I don't actually know what
It certainly could, if we have an idea for what that flashback would be.
Well, would it out because being reminded that we were there to talk to his wife. Well, were we there to talk to his wife, or did we just go there because we knew there that we want him? We want
He away. We were gonna go talk to his wife because she might know where he might have gone.
Oh, but doesn't he just
She's
happen to
our
be there?
she's our no, he's gone. He left during the whiteout. Gollum escaped.
Okay.
So he's gone without a trace, and she's basically our last potential clue as to where he might have gone from here. Otherwise, we're back to square one.
Okay, so maybe this can start with a flashback even further in the past to before he ever got into NFT and any of that. Way back. It's kind of the way that Breaking Bad would go way back to him and Gretchen, was it? Ooh.
He had a Gretchen, and he had a friend, and also there's flashbacks to his ultra pregnant wife before the new baby is born and all that. And in fact,
Right.
I think they go back all the way to before Walt Jr. was born.
So since they would do those flashbacks, let's in this one flashback to a time before he was desperate and what well, I guess because he was I guess before he was fully Joe Sixpack. Maybe when he was a young buck and he had a dream, because I'm or I don't maybe when he was with his wife and things were fine. I'm just trying to think maybe it can flash back to a point where as our flashback ends, we're in the office with the wife and she's telling or ex-wife, I guess, and she's telling us a story about like a holiday they went on or whatever, some idyllic place that he would go to in his desperation, whatever, and then
Oh, obviously he would have to have some kind of it would have to be a fishing destination. This Joe Sixpack fishes.
oh, and while he fishes, he sings the Gollum catching the fishy song.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't there? I think it's about a fishy, isn't it? As before he bites into it or whatever.
Yep, it's about a fish.
Okay, see, so that's very funny. And okay, so yeah, he has some sort of fishing destination. So the flashback is about that destination and some impassioned
Yes.
thing he told her about it.
Oh, either that or he's there with his family. Kids are frolicking. His wife is sitting there, and he catches a big fish, and they have it for dinner, and it's a treasured family memory for everyone.
I love it. Okay, yes, that's the flashback, and then we come to the office, I guess,
Yes,
and she's finishing telling us the story about it.
we juxtapose with the miserable in comparison modern day.
Oh, I guess also then, so in the modern day, everything will have sort of a bleak Breaking Bad color palette, but in these flashbacks, everything will be very like colorful and saturated,
Oh,
sparkly
I
even.
want to do Technicolor, really bright, and a whole new soundtrack for the past.
Like a heavenly choir.
I was thinking upbeat electronic 80s stuff like Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love Stranger Things soundtrack.
Okay, so it's so funny. I think in the thread I started earlier last week after that episode, I said let's come up with a conclusion that we're working toward, and I don't think we actually did that. We ended up rewriting who the the character was in the episode that we'd already done. So I don't think we have a conclusion that we're working towards. But now we know
Yeah,
a
we don't.
location that he's at. So are we going to find him at this fishing spot then?
Well, as far as the narrative breadcrumb goes, we have to either find him or we have to find our next breadcrumb. Because if we find nothing there, then we might as well never have spoken to his wife.
Right. True. Okay. I
So
also
the
have to
real
ask.
question is just whether we find him or whether we find another breadcrumb.
Should we be starting to bring some of the other NFTs into this, or are we still focusing on just solving this one?
No, bringing other NFTs into it is probably a good idea. Although, and in fact, there's a really good chance that anybody who happens to already have one is also looking for Gollum
Oh, this is a
because
chance for us to run into someone.
they want to come together. Every single one of those NFTs is calling to each other, just like the ring was calling to Sauron.
Okay, I gotta open up a doc, I think.
Oh, shit's getting serious.
Now we got moving parts now. Okay, so maybe, yeah, maybe it's a good idea for him not to be.
Oh, yeah, maybe it is a good idea for him to not be there, but who is there is someone else looking for Gollum.
Now, is the someone else who's looking for Gollum an agent of Basil Bob or another team?
Certainly could be, but if I recall, there are 12 of those NFTs, and I think all of them except for the monomyth are unaccounted for.
So, do we have how many factions do you think are looking for the NFT? So this is interesting. I think do we know yet? Do Tucker and Todd know that there are multiple NFTs? They've learned that this one actually has power, but they don't really understand why.
I guess that would depend on whether Plato saw fit to tell them. He probably did let that slip in some bit of exposition. Either he will have already done so, or he's going to have to do so very soon. Because as soon as we start encountering other actors, it's going to become very clear.
Did I already ask how many factions? Should we actually be bringing in a bunch of our kind of like culty groups that we've created along the way?
Well, we definitely have Basil Bub, and let's say that Abaddon has as many as 6 of the NFTs, so fully half of them accounted for in one group. And then any other groups have 1 or 2 or 3, which leaves room for, let's say, 2 additional factions on top of Abaddon.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, because if Abaddon has 6, Gollum has
1.
Um, and I'm trying to think of groups that would want it. There's the Your people.
We
There's
never did flesh them out very much, did we?
well, we did a whole episode on just them, I think, or at least half an episode on them.
I think we did a bit on them. I think that was either a third or a half of an episode, and it
I
involved
can't remember.
their conflict with another cult that happened to be run by McConaughey.
Where is McConaughey right now? We vanquished him in a fight in the outside, but does that mean is he gone?
He's not defeated. He ran, so he's still at large somewhere. But he's probably got like crippling depression and ADHD after having been exposed to Tucker and Todd.
Oh, I so yeah, there's that. So I forgot that what is it called? Fantasology. So Fantasology might want to resurrect so we were saying that
Basil
owning
Bub
all
wants to resurrect Elrond, but Fantasology also has a vested interest in it, so they would probably be in some kind of talks to join forces.
yeah, because Beelzebub wants to resurrect Elrond for his own means. He wants to like enslave him and turn into his Jafar genie. But Fantasology would want to resurrect Elrond to like restore him to supremacy.
Either that or the people who are currently in charge of Fantasology want him back as a figurehead, but nothing else.
That's possible. Are we saying that McConaughey was currently in charge of Fantasology, or do we have some other? I get lost with these things. Do you
We
remember?
have so many people. I forget who wound up in charge of Fantasology, but McConaughey was missing at the time. Cosby definitely needs to have one and show up with that fucking ice cream truck.
Cosby has one,
Yeah, I don't know. Some part of me is spoiling for a rematch.
and I think he. So is he the last one that we find out has one because we learn about all these like large players, and then we learn that Cosby has one. And we're like Cosby, and he's
Oh
just
yeah,
joking.
we'll probably have to have some kind of a discussion where you know, we even make use of our little red shoestring. I forget what we would call those. It's like a spiderweb map of clues.
I call it a
That
conspiracy map.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy map, and we can make use of our conspiracy map to start detailing where all of the 12 NFTs are once we start becoming aware of who has them, and we can manage to track down 11 of them,
And
and
I
then
think
there's like one left. We're like, what the hell?
And obviously the conspiracy map, as the camera follows it all close up, it looks like it's kind of chaotic and zigzagging all over the place. But when you zoom out, it is something like childish and inappropriate.
Oh, it's just a dick,
It's yeah,
the
of course.
dick and balls. It zooms out, and somebody's like, oh god, damn it, come on.
And we're just snickering
Oh yeah, we would be Beavis and Butthead
behind
over
our
here.
behind our hands.
Yeah, just Beavis and Butthead over here.
Okay, so Cosby. So that leaves us. So maybe that's 10. So somebody else has two.
Okay,
Wait,
Abaddon has 6, Gollum has 1, Cosby has 1. That is just 8. Where are the other 2?
well, I think 2 for Fantasology, and then 2 for somebody
Okay,
else.
okay, 2 for Fantasology, and pick your favorite minor faction, and we'll give them 2.
Let me take a peek at the episode list.
I mean, a part of me wants to say the Sendables, but another part of me wants to say that it's actually a couple of child assassins.
Oh, that's interesting. Is it a faction that would do good with them, or is it a faction that would do bad?
I think there are basically 0 people who want to do good with these. All the good people want nothing to do with them. So there's actually there will be no winners, only losers, no matter who gets it.
You said child assassins, and is there any chance that a fisherman would have them?
Oh, interesting. Well, there is actually a strong chance, and they might be a better contender than the child assassins because the child assassins aren't really an organized group. They're kind of like a bunch of exceptional individuals, so they all kind of lone wolf it. Whereas the fishermen are a cohesive group, and this is kind of a group thing.
Yeah, and the child assassins also don't really like scheme.
No, and they are so far our single most dangerous creation. So like anybody else who gets in their way is probably going to get bodied.
And Columbo would have an interest in harnessing the power of the non-finite tokens.
Oh yeah, he definitely wants the non-finity mitten.
Well, I'm gonna give him 1 actually. So the fishermen have 1 and Fantasology have 3.
Interesting. But if Fantasology and Abaddon are going to combine forces, that will give Abaddon 9 of them.
Oh, that's true. Oh, do you think they would? I was kind of thinking of them wanting Elrond for 2 different purposes, but I
Oh,
guess
they definitely do want Elrond for different purposes. And there's probably a good chance that neither one of them wants to share.
Oh, and they both figured that once they have the power, they could just stamp the other out anyways.
Kind of. So it would be a very tentative alliance. It would be fragile. So I guess it's fair to say that Fantasology would hold on to their 3. They're kind of hedging their bets, and so would Abaddon. But they would both count it as having 9, even though neither does.
Right, okay.
Okay, and having 3 makes Fantasology have a bit stronger of a position to actually hold their own against Abaddon. So it's probably a better choice.
Then again, are we suggesting that Columbo would want the power of the finite stones, or is he? I don't know. Doesn't he have
Oh,
all the power in the universe anyways?
no, he doesn't. He is an eldritch entity, but he's not all powerful. More power is better than less, especially if he can keep it out of Basilbub's hands.
True. Oh yes, that is one of his interests. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
good with that.
one of the most important things to powerful people is ensuring that other people don't have any. So even if it wouldn't benefit him personally to have it, it would still benefit him to make sure that Basilbub doesn't.
Okay.
That and he's an ancient being and he's probably like super bored and looking for stuff to do. I know I would be super bored if I was immortal.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, it's something to do. It's like collecting bottle caps to him.
He has a bet with some other eternal being about how this will play out.
No. And rather than standing back and watching, he's trying to ensure that the bet goes his way.
Right.
Oh, interesting. Well, in that case, the bet is only that his opponent bet that Basilbub would win, which means that so long as anybody but Basilbub wins, Columbo wins.
Yeah, exactly. He was whatever stones he finds, he is just gonna give to whoever has more.
Yeah, whoever has the greatest chance of beating Basilbub gets his NFT.
Exactly.
He has the trump card. He's got the ace in the hole. He's got the final piece. What a dick.
I'm just being a tiebreaker.
So yeah, he has a vested interest in Basilbub's failure, which is actually more of an interesting thing than the rest of the premise. Why does Columbo want Basilbub to fail besides the bet? Because I'm sure there's more to it than the bet.
Well, didn't we give Basilbub a brother of some type? Another
Oh
angel
yeah,
who had
I
fallen
remember.
to
An actually good guy angel, but also fallen.
Yeah, I can't remember who. Might have to go back
Oh,
and dig
right.
that one up.
Didn't he take over Fantasology?
Oh yeah, it
He
was
yeah,
an actor.
he took over Fantasology. He became the celebrity spokesperson who wound up being the chairman and figurehead.
Oh, it was Jeff Bridges.
Oh yeah.
Because we
I love
said
Jeff.
somebody who was unimpeachable, and also he was all chilled out and the dude because of his eternal wisdom and whatnot, and his life as being an angel.
Yeah, he's just super zen, and frankly, Jeff Bridges is beyond reproach.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so if Fantasology does want to resurrect uh, Elrond, it's to use him as a figurehead rather than to restore his power, because Elrond is evil. And that actually adds another layer to the two brothers working together.
Right. So, but did Columbo have the bet with Jeff Bridges then?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it would have been with another kind of Lovecraftian entity rather than anything celestial. When God looks at beings like Columbo, he says, "Nope, that's not one of mine."
Mm-hmm. That's reasonable.
So he's kind of an unknown player in the sort of divine system.
Right. So I guess in that case, if we're gonna have the fisherman come out at the end to tip the scales, I mean Columbo at the end to tip the scales, maybe Cosby isn't the final comic reveal. The Columbo is the final plot reveal of okay, this is how we're winning this over. Because I guess we're gonna have to defeat. Are we gonna defeat Cosby and take his NFT?
I I I've had a bad day. I kind of feel like beating the shit out of Cosby.
That's the only reason that Cosby ever shows up in our sketches is just to have the shit kicked out of him.
He did okay last time. He almost overpowered us. He was a fairly good mini boss.
But this time, is it simply because we've had a long day that we have the power to overcome him this time?
Oh, you remember that scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark where that guy pulls a sword on Indy and he's
Yeah.
swirling it around and Indy's just like, ugh, don't have time for this. Pulls a gun and shoots him. That is the I've had a bad day and I don't have time for this kind of attitude.
Do we pull out? We say we have the bunny suit. We have the pink bunny suit. We just hold it aloft in front of us. You kind of stretch it out before you, and a punching glove on a spring shoots out and hits knocks Cosby out.
Oh, I like that. It punches him right out of his clothes and his NFT falls to the ground.
No,
so we loot him.
Oh, I like the idea of looting. I was gonna say, but it punches him so hard that it knocks the literal shit out of him. Just a shit comes out.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, a shit can be left behind in the pile of clothes.
I think can remark.
Yeah, go on.
I was just saying we remark. That was the literal shit out of him.
I think that means before that we should be like, is that Cosby? I'm gonna beat the literal shit out of him.
Okay, yes.
And then once we set it up, then we're allowed to do that.
Told you so.
Somebody's like, wow, you really did. Wow, you really did.
I've never seen anybody follow through on that one.
We're having a bad day. We're not kidding around. We've been following this guy all over the place. Do you have any idea how bad that bus smelled all the way to New Mexico?
Yeah, it smelled like kimchi.
That would be, that's the cabbage.
My cabbages. Is Cosby the first person? Is that who we find at the fishing hole then? Or the cat? Are you picturing an Ozark cabin?
I am picturing an Ozark cabin. Just, just a little bit away from the docks with a nice little fishing shack there or something.
Yeah.
And I think Cosby would be a good encounter here because stuff's been a little bit low impact for at least a little while. I mean, Skylar White is practically a mini boss herself, but she took us out.
So do we see his ice cream van in the driveway or something like that? Do we know he's there before we get there, or do we get there and it's a surprise? We get in the house and we're looking around a bit.
Oh, see, now that is a good question because if he's there, we can be like, "Uh-oh, I know that truck." But if he's not there, then we can do the ice cream music intro that signals his coming, like we did previously.
Oh, we get there first, and then somebody's coming.
Yeah, because I mean, he has an ice cream truck. That's always an opportunity to do the ice cream music gag, especially if Tucker and Todd are a little bit dumb and we're like, ice cream! Go rushing out and be like, oh no, not that
But
kind of ice cream.
I do like the idea that we think that the ice cream will be the salve for the disappointment of not getting what we wanted.
Yeah, there's nothing here. There's nobody here. This place is abandoned. That lady sent us on a wild. Hey, is that ice cream? Ice cream. We go rushing outside, and then our big
Oh,
happy eyes are now disappointed because that's definitely a date rape ice cream van.
so we get to the cabin and we're rooting around and we hear a shuffling and we do some suspenseful music and camera angles or whatever to make it seem like somebody might be in the house. And we open a door and an actual wild goose comes flying out and we go, man, this was nothing but a wild goose chase.
Oh, I love that. A wild goose. How do you make it look wild?
It has booty shorts and a tube top.
Oh, ooh, that is that.
So that's
It's got one flip flop.
oh, we open we open the door and it flashes us.
Goose
It's a
gone
goose gone
wild.
wild.
Somebody, it's got beads around its neck.
Yeah. Vodka dripping down its cleavage.
Oh, the entire closet it was in just smells like vodka.
Oh, there's the little 2D star sensors on it.
Oh, yeah, the ones you'd see in the commercials late at night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
they say like too hot for TV.
Yeah, exactly. I need to look up exactly what they were. Were they actually the logo or it was a smiley face? I can't remember.
Oh, I thought it was like a gold star. And did it spin? Oh, I hope it spun.
It was silly. It was very the 2000s.
Yeah, very sensationalist.
On Spike TV.
Girls Gone Wild is older than Spike TV, right?
I think it's older than Spike, but that's where I saw the commercials was on Spike. Or maybe it was Superstation
No,
before
I
Superstation
definitely
became
saw it on
CBS.
Spike. I definitely saw it on Spike. So we've encountered a wild goose gone wild.
Yes.
And I guess we'll lament about our wild goose chase.
Oh, but I do think the wild goose now becomes, I don't know if it's a permanent part of our cast, but I think the goose should stay with us. Like you grab the goose and carry it under your arm, or maybe I do because I'm taller, longer arms, fit a goose
Yeah,
under.
you do have longer arms, and this goose is wearing clothes, so it's much easier to catch. You just kind of grab the collar of the tube top and drag it along.
Yeah, it's
It
actually pretty
honks.
chill.
It honks once.
Did something just change?
I don't believe so.
I think I know it did. We had Geark for a second, and then he went away again.
Oh, I was not watching. I thought he would have made a noise.
You would think maybe that means he's here. He's a ghost. Maybe it's actually just got smarter and better, and it knows that it doesn't need to show that Geark is here because it shows that he's online and recording.
Maybe.
Now
But
it's in a tree.
he entered the chat and then left.
That's true.
So we definitely saw him come in.
Anyway,
I don't know.
We're brought to you by Geark.
Yeah, we're just gonna hold on to hope. So we've got our wild goose. Todd has seen fit to bring the goose with us. We go out. We go outside.
We hear the ice cream music.
Yeah, and we're like, oh, our salvation, ice cream, and we go out and we recognize the date rape ice cream van.
Oh, so now that this is happening, I think that the punchy knock him out right away thing is funny. Is it funnier now though to have Cosby show up, start monologuing, but have his monologue interrupted by the goose pecking at his eyeballs?
Is it funnier to have the goose do it, or is it funnier to interrupt his monologue with the boxing glove on the end of that extendo arm?
That is good. And then the goose comes over and I don't know, poops on him, or has he been knocked? He gets knocked unconscious anyways.
Well, he steps on out of his. Does he step out of his ice cream van? I mean, he must if we're gonna punch him. But Plato is with us, and Plato's never met Cosby before. But Tucker and Todd recognize this guy, and we're like, we don't have time for this. This has been a long day. We're just gonna go ahead and get rid of this guy. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna beat the literal shit out of him. Which I think Tucker is gonna say it. Todd has a goose. Tucker is gonna pull out the bunny suit, and then either pull out like a hand device that he presses a button on that causes the fist to come out, or he just holds the bunny suit and it comes out of the interior of the bunny suit.
Yeah, I imagined it just coming out of the interior of the bunny suit. But if there was a device, is it just like a little box?
I think it would be kind of like some kind of it would look like a pair of reverse pliers, something that you put the squeeze on and it pushes tension into the extending frame
Oh,
and it
what
goes
is that
bam.
called?
I have no idea.
Like the not telescoping, but I know what you're saying. They like, oh goddamn, but I know what you're saying. I need to know the name though. Like they have a sky version, like a sky jack or whatever they call that.
Yeah, it's an extending arm. I might even want to call it a boom.
A boom. Yeah, I feel like there's a name for that simple machine though. I wish I knew. It's a contraption, but it does like a
But yeah,
scissoring thing.
yeah, and it does telescope. And I guess it doesn't because
It doesn't go into itself.
yeah, it doesn't. It's a technically a folding frame, but it extends by just straightening out.
Not quite 2 hours, but a significant amount of time later.
I'm calling it an X hinge. That's my new trademark.
Anyway, we've got a giant boxing glove on the end of a giant X hinge, and it immediately extends from the interior of the bunny suit when it's held in Cosby's direction with malicious intent. And it
knocks
punches
out of
him
his clothes.
right out of his clothes, leaves a turd behind, and he goes flying right through the door of his own van, which then rolls over onto its side into the water. So he goes to the bottom of the lake.
Oh, does he go skipping across the water and then sinks?
Yes, in his van with a big hole punched through it because he's in it.
Oh, and when the clothes come off, though, it makes the shattering coins, or like the tinkling coins, the rings falling.
Yeah, definitely, and especially because the NFT lands because it flies out of his pocket.
The NFT lands and it sits there. It sits there like floating and rotating with a small halo around it.
Oh yeah, it's got like that kind of sparkling. This is a quest item halo around it. Yeah, might even play the Legend of Zelda sound as we get closer to it.
Oh, when we do loot NFTs, should it do like a "you have received a legendary item" like HUD text or whatever?
Oh yeah, probably. Because
we get an achievement.
Why not go all out? 12? Why not go? Yeah. Should get an achievement for picking up our first one, really.
I feel like we're going to have to start incorporating a lot of achievements into the show now, actually. Tucker and Todd achievements.
Achievement unlocked. Actually find your first NFT.
Oh, yeah, there's all the simple tutorial achievements, and then, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's a bigger achievement for finding all of them, naturally. There's probably also an achievement for beating the literal shit out of Bill Cosby.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So yeah, after our flawless victory, I imagine Plato's either impressed or horrified. I don't know if the Goose gets a chance to interact with Cosby.
No, I think it's too late. He's sunk to the bottom. Maybe it interacts with his clothes. It tries to eat them or something.
Just kind of makes a mess of them, tatters them, spreads them around.
I'm assuming it's quite stupid.
The Goose?
Yeah, I don't know how smart geese are. I assume this
this Goose flashed her tits on Girls Gone Wild, so she can't be that smart.
True. Okay.
I'm sorry, geese. I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't already know.
Party animal. But okay, so yeah, I think Plato would probably be a little bit horrified. He would at least object, like, we could have got information, and we're just like flat out, no, we know that guy. He sucks.
Yeah, the only information we'd ever get out of him is a chemical, recipe to really good Rohypnol.
Plato's like, it seems like a mouthful, but okay.
Gross.
No, that's not what that's funny.
Thanks, Plato.
And I guess from there, we receive any clues?
In fact, there might be some.
Cosby just has a list. Cosby has a list of, he was going from one to one and he was just going to pick them all off. This is very convenient for us. And we say, wow, the plot contrivance is really helped us to whatever.
Oh, yeah. I imagine that's what the Goose finds. The Goose starts tearing through his stuff and finds the list.
Is that too convenient?
No,
It's fine.
no, it seems like the kind of thing he would reasonably have because this isn't a location you come to by accident. He had the address. He probably had others.
And I guess the one one is unaccounted for. So he says Fantasology has 3, Basil Bub has 6, or Abaddon has 6, whatever. And then he says there's a big like giant question mark, like where's the last one? So that remains a bit of a mystery to everybody. But we go, wow, well, at least we know where the next 9 are. This is easy peasy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we don't have a lead on Gollum because one is as good as any other, so long as we keep them out of Abaddon's hands.
Right. As long yeah, that one's in the wind.
We'll track it down later.
We can go secure Fantasology. I can't remember. Does he know about Fantasology? I don't think we've had interactions with him in this season.
I'm pretty sure Jeff Bridges was this season.
No, I can't remember.
Okay, I am 100% certain that Jeff Bridges was this season. I just don't remember if it was a Miss Frizzle episode.
Anyhow, he is familiar with cult behavior, I guess, at least.
Well, yeah, and he's our Miss Frizzle. He just knows stuff.
True. Oh yeah, he has been hopping around all through time. He would have seen he knows a lot about this thing. Never mind. I don't know what I'm thinking. Plato's not stupid. He's been everywhere, man.
He's been everywhere, man. Yeah, and so he has like an objective outsider's perspective on this entire debacle. He knows a lot about everybody, except probably Columbo.
Oh, well, so this is actually interesting then. So he would have known, because Fantasology has been around for so long. He knew L. Ron Hubbard. He doesn't know the current, but I guess he would know. Actually, is he actually friends with Jeff Bridges then? Is Plato friend with Jeff Bridges? They went on a camping trip once.
Maybe, but I don't think he knows what Jeff Bridges is.
It's like a Lando Calrissian situation.
Well, I don't think anybody expected Lando to remain nice and loyal. But I mean, I don't think Plato knows that Jeff Bridges is actually an angel, which Lando certainly is not.
I was going to say, does Plato believe in angels?
After the shit we've seen and done, it would be pretty silly to stop believing in things.
I'm just trying to figure out how to play this. I like the idea of Plato knows what Fantasology is, has heard of it. Oh, that used to be run by L. Ron Hubbard. We were good friends. Maybe that's who he was friends with and has been on a camping trip with. We go there and we're like, well, you know that L. Ron Hubbard isn't in charge of that anymore, right? I don't know if we revealed to them that we had something to do with defeating and sending him to the outside.
He probably has some general idea. Although he might not, he might know that it happens, but he might not know that it has happened yet because he's all over the place in time.
Maybe. Oh, and then so we get there and we're like, we would like to see the head of Fantasology, please. And they're like, yeah, it's right this way. I'm not really quite sure why. But Plato is fangirling over Jeff Bridges. Like, oh, you're Jeff Bridges.
Oh, Plato's really into the dude. I think Socrates would have been pretty into the dude.
Probably. Oh, should we have named previously the Goose Donnie, and the audience isn't sure why, but it's so that we can do a callback or again a reference later when the Goose is getting into some trouble and we tell him, stop it, you're out of your element, Donnie.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Maybe we rent a Honda Element, and then so we're driving that around and we say, stop it, get back in the element, Donnie.
You're out of the element, Donnie. Why are we naming a wild goose Donnie? Nobody knows.
Just so we can make the joke later, yeah.
Well, maybe, yeah, her name is Dawn, but we'll call her Donnie.
I did forget that she was female. Gotta have those titties.
Well, that was... Otherwise, what did we censor?
It's 2022, I'm not sure.
It's a good point. I accept that as an answer.
Okay, I'm glad you do. We need to move this forward. Are we at Fantasology now? Did we move that quickly?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, we don't have an ice cream van to steal. That would have been kind of funny. But yes, we can move on out of here.
Do we not?
We've got addresses.
Destroy the van?
Oh, yeah. Bill Cosby got punched into it so hard that he flew through the sliding side door, and the van toppled and skipped over the lake and then sank into it.
Oh, I missed that it
With
was the
Bill-
whole unit. Okay,
With Bill Cosby in it.
perfect. That's even better.
So Bill Cosby is now at the bottom of a lake in his van.
And the next time we ever see Cosby again, it's like a Lady in the Lake situation.
He rises up with a sword.
Yeah, a pudding pop actually.
Oh God.
He's trying to give it to some kid named Arthur.
We've got the pudding.
Come and get it. This is dumb. Moving on.
Yeah,
This
moving
story.
on. We know that Fantasology has some now. We don't want to go to Abaddon. We're afraid of them. We don't want to go anywhere near them until we have 6.
Right. And now we currently have one.
we
have
want
one.
to have more than one to go up against these guys who have 6 at the very least.
Right. And so, so should they only have 5 then, so that we can actually have more than half, or does it just need to be a half and half? Is it just to make sure that they don't have all of them?
It's just to make sure they don't have all of them, but they definitely need to have more than anybody else.
Right. Okay, I agree with the way it is.
And upon reaching Fantasology, we are going to learn that they are in talks to join forces with Abaddon.
We learned that. Do we learn that on the way? Because I think when we get there, it should be a situation of, because if I recall correctly, we don't have a good relationship with Fantasology. We've fucked with them pretty hardcore in the past, and so they're not going to be.
We don't have a good relationship with anybody.
No,
we have 0 friends in the world. We alienated our own people. Stan won't answer my calls.
he never comes when asked. So they're not going to be happy to see us, but I think it's one of those situations of we say it's about the NFTs or whatever, and they're like, oh, right.
Plato probably has a little bit of clout with Jeff Bridges. He might be able to get us a meeting.
Do you think? I was going to say that, yeah, because I had originally said that Plato is a fan. Oh, is Jeff Bridges actually a fan of Plato?
I think that might be a little bit more appropriate, but he won't be fangirling enough about Plato to back off of his deal with Abaddon. So he will book us a meeting as a courtesy, just to inform us that they're already in business with Abaddon.
So are we gonna have to? Are we then like, okay, then you're now our enemy or whatever? Like, do we have to threaten him? Like, hey, we got to take this from you, or?
No, you think we're just gonna be like, okay, then you're our enemy, Jeff Bridges, right at his desk?
We pee on his rug.
I think that's a fantastic option.
Oh, and it has to be you, because I can do the Calvin pissing on Dodge sign thing.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Tucker pisses on the dude's rug. Is it inside his office or just outside it? This is a declaration of war.
Is there a funny way that it could be something that literally holds the room together?
I'm thinking, but I'm not getting anything.
It would be very fourth wall breaky to delete the rug from the Unreal project, and when you delete an asset that's part of a sequence, it gives you warning that like the sequence depends on that item, and you have to approve of it, yes or no, and I can approve of it, and then it will break the whole project, and everything else disappears. So it held the room together.
That is crazy, and that's an opportunity to include like a similar sort of glitch overlay that we had with Miranda back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Pee on it, and the room starts disassembling into like raw code.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
It's falling apart into raw code. We got to get out of here. Why is it every time we visit Fantasology, we break something and the entire place starts coming apart?
Yeah, no kidding. It's always a catastrophe.
At the very least, that'll set them back for a little bit so that their deal with Abaddon is delayed. So what was just going to be a spiteful, childish little I'll show you actually turned out to be a viable delaying strategy.
And so do we attain their 3 NFTs, or it's just purely it delays them, it breaks their infrastructure?
Oh, let's say it causes their NFTs to get scattered so that we don't have them, but they don't have them either. So we have to go hunt them down. But they're now free agents. They're just out there.
Okay. They go tumbling out.
Yeah, they just like tumbleweeds. They're just like sheets of paper. They just blow out the door. Or no, I guess since the room is falling apart into raw code, it's now just like open air. There's no ceiling. They just blow away.
And then we get new quest text pop up in the corner, and it gives us the fuck. What are they called?
Objective.
Objectives. Yes, the objective check marks says like obtain the NFT to the northwest, south, or whatever, and it shows them on our mini map, the little thing, the direction to head.
Okay, that means we now have 3 quests.
Oh my god, how is this getting bigger and more? No, we
Okay,
need
but
an easier solution.
This one we can do in a quick montage because the first one we just have to play like a game of turtle shells with some guy. You know that game, right?
Right, yep.
We have to pick the NFT that's underneath the one cup as he's shuffling them around. Like, aha, that one. And then he's like, no, it's actually under this one. And then we pull out the bunny suit and give him the fucking puncher again.
Perfect.
Because we're not playing this game twice. Then we take the NFT. Then we move on to the next guy.
Okay, I do like that though, and that can be a little bit of a meta thing. As the quest text appears, I wasn't actually thinking that would happen. It was just a joke, but it actually works here. We get the 3 separate quests. We see that there's 3 NFTs that we have to get now, and it cuts to Tucker and Todd being like, "What the like being exasperated, like we don't have time for this," and or I don't know who says that, but somebody just says it's okay. We can just do a montage.
Yeah, we'll just do a montage. All right, so what's the next one? Do we have to fight with like a stray dog that's living in an alley in a box?
That's interesting. I was trying to think of like tropey things. There's like a demon in a dungeon or something like that.
I think having to fight a stray dog for a scrap is pretty tropey.
Is it literally? It's like what are they from? There's the big one and the little one that bounces around it in Looney Tunes. Rocco and Spike or whatever they're called.
Oh, yeah.
Or is it a big scary dog? Or is it a flea-ridden shitty dog?
I was thinking it would be a flea-ridden kind of mangy dog that even if it's not super intimidating in size, it's definitely mean and it looks dirty and I don't want to get close to it. It might touch me.
It's got stink lines coming off of it.
Visible stink.
Yeah, of course.
That's one
Is
of the
it like
best visual gags we could do.
It's all mangy. Is it literally? It's got like bits of bone showing. It's like a ghoul dog.
Oh, it's a goddamn Resident Evil dog.
Yeah.
A zombie dog. Well, that means somebody has to, I don't know, wall run and kick it in the face.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, dibs out. My legs aren't long enough.
Yeah, but then you seen your evasive? You saw that somersault you did in the last one. You've got gymnastic abilities.
I can dodge because I have a low center of gravity, but I cannot wall run and then kick a thing. I've got no legs.
Okay, fine. Oh, I throw Donnie.
Yeah, I think our wild goose is a match.
Oh, it actually is it with a case where it confuses the dog? The dog is scared of it and runs away.
The goose comes on real hard and fast, starts screeching its goose screech, its terrible honk of death, and flapping its wings in the Okay, it confuses the dog in a different way. And yeah, this mangy zombie dog is like, fuck this, and turns away and leaves. And the NFT is on the ground and we just pick it up.
Perfect. That's 2.
And one more. Oh, I guess we could subvert it, and this time we just find it. It's just there on the ground. There's nothing in the way, no obstacles. And we can even like break the 4th wall and be like, is that it? Really? We'd pick it up and our quest objective text gets like scratched out. Quest complete. Seriously? Is that it? Or maybe somebody wants 10 bear asses.
10 bear asses? Oh, a fetch quest?
Yeah. Bring me this many chicken parts.
I mean, that is kind of funny also if we get to it and we do the line, really? A fetch quest? I guess
really a fetch quest?
These were all fetch quests.
They were, in a way, but this one is a quest we're on where somebody gives us another quest within the quest.
Or do you have to try to what is it? You have to try to stop a bully with a sweet roll.
I think that's an opportunity for Todd to just actually, I guess Todd already threw something last one.
Is that the line? Throw the sweet roll.
This one is a bit of a stumper. I want to subvert it somehow. Third one, we always do that.
So the first one was it was a fight, right? A hand fight. It was the
turtle shells
shell game.
guy. Yeah, the guy was playing the shell game, and we picked the wrong one, so I pulled the bunny suit and gave him the boxing glove punch machine, and then we just took the NFT.
Shell game, dog in an alley, subversion.
And a subversion would be either just finding it, or, I guess we could, solve a riddle. Somebody has it, and we have to solve a riddle. We have Play-Doh, so it'll be easy.
Oh, but since it's part of a montage, we're talking to a sphinx, and then we fail the riddle, so we just punch it with the spring box. The spring.
We try, but it fails because the sphinx points out that we've already overused that joke.
Oh, so we point behind it and like look, something over there, and when it looks, we grab the NFT and run away.
Yeah, never fails. Never fails.
We fail the riddle, and then so we try to beat it up, and then we fail to beat it up, and so we we did the classic look over there.
Holy shit! What's that? What's what? That? What? Turns around to look. Asshole. Take it.
Holy shit! It's Jeff Bridges. Is that Bill Cosby?
No, the Sphinx is female, so it would work.
Oh, we say is that Bill Cosby, and she winces.
She turns back. She's alarmed.
Okay, I think that's it. Now we have those three.
Yes, now we have those three. Now that brings our total up to 4. That means there's the monomyth and Columbos that remain unaccounted for. We don't know about Columbos, but we know about the monomyth. We know that it'd probably be easier to track down Gollum than it would be to tangle with Abaddon.
But do we have any clues now? Have we picked up a clue along the way?
Well, remember that we kind of agreed that the NFTs call to each other.
Right. So now that we can kind of stronger.
Yeah, we can kind of use them as a dowsing rod. That's what they do. They're attracted to each other, and yes, because we have more, they are more reactive to the pull. They have a stronger sort of draw towards the others. But rather than finding Gollum, it's going to pull us towards the fisherman and Columbo, because Gollum would be too easy.
Oh, so would it be? It takes us back to the studio, and so we're like, "What the fuck? This is our studio." One of those.
Is Columbo just in our studio?
Oh, I don't know. I just assume he's always there. Is he in his sea can going all the way back?
Interesting. Where would he be? I guess he'll be lurking around somewhere nearby to where all this stuff is going on.
And that said, is it even in his possession and being held, or is it one of the other fishermen, or the fishermen have it at the Fisherman Headquarters, or it is being retrieved by some fishermen?
No, it's currently in the fisherman's possession for sure. Whether it's in Columbo's actual hands or not, it's probably in the custody of the fisherman at a temporary headquarters that happens to be nearby to where everybody expects this shit to hit the fan. Close enough to Abaddon headquarters and the and Fantasology headquarters.
Oh, interesting. So is it not?
They're basically on standby, waiting for somebody else to make a big move so that they can show up and make sure that Abaddon gets screwed.
So is it less that when we collect all the NFTs and we have them, there's a soft tug in one direction and a hard tug in the other? Is there just one tug and we head towards it and realize, well, that's Abaddon headquarters on that side, but now that we're here in downtown or wherever we are, I noticed that it's tugging in another direction over here. What's over here? And that's when we discover the fishermen have one.
Yeah, sure. It does make sense to follow the stronger pull, especially if we're further away from it, because if it's strong enough, it won't show us the other pull until we get close enough to the source of the weaker pull anyway.
Right. And then kind of present us with the option of like, oh, well, we don't want to go there, but what's this over here?
Yeah, and so we'll find the Fisherman Headquarters. It's a temporary place, so we don't recognize it.
It's a front, actually. I don't know if they have like a little diner set up or something.
Makes sense. That seems like a Columbo thing. Okay, so they let us right in.
Yeah, do they keep up the? I don't know. So maybe in that case, maybe it's not a front. I don't know. Is it an office building and they're doing like a monitoring situation? If they get, is it all like, or it's like a warehouse and it's an improvised like war room kind of situation?
I actually think it'd be funnier if it was a pizza joint, and then in the back there's a great big like fake pizza on the wall, but it's actually one of those turning vault doors.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
And then it leads to like their little sanctuary in there where they've got computers and various other monitoring devices and all that set up.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I like that.
Just really wanted a giant rolling pizza.
So,
So
we walk
yeah.
in there and we're like, we weren't expecting to find a pizza place. I imagine we're confused, and they immediately are like, "Oh,
We've
got
been
some
expecting you.
we've been expecting you. We got
That's
some
a good
friendlies."
trope. That's a good trope. We've been expected.
Should we work in any sort of thing? Do they jump right to the "we've been expecting you," or like do we have to? They ask us if we have an order and we accidentally give the right password by ordering the most obscure pizza. I don't know.
We're there looking for an NFT. Why are we going to order pizza? I mean, never mind. We are those kinds of guys. But we've also got Plato with us, and they know who we are.
Right, that's true.
Columbo's expecting us for sure.
That would be funny if we come in and they're like, "Can we get you anything?" And so yeah, the to pass the test, you're supposed to not order a pizza, but we immediately order pizza. The like there's a kind of like cut, all of the sound stops. The big pizza door rolls back. Columbo steps through with his head in his hands, kind of like, "Boys, you technically failed the test.
Does this mean there's no pizza?
There was never any pizza.
There was never any pizza.
The pie was a lie."
looks like we're leaving.
Yeah, we're out the door. Oh, we're not. He's not even done saying there was never any pizza. The door is closing. There's the bell on the door.
Yeah, just the chime on the door. Ching. What? Yeah, then they gotta get us back. The pie was a lie.
And okay, so yeah, they get us back. I don't know, 2 hours later.
Oh, they probably just already have
2
thugs.
pizzas later.
2 seconds later, they have thugs right outside the door, and we don't have time either. So that's probably going to be mentioned several times throughout the whole thing. We don't have time for this. Then this time it's not us saying it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very funny. If we are constantly impatient, we don't have time for this, and then we get roughed up by some thugs saying they don't have time for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's about time somebody turned the tables on us.
And so we get dragged inside. Columbo gives us a rundown of everything that's been going on, I guess. Does Columbo know that we have NFTs?
He probably monitors us. He probably has a whole station dedicated just to watching us. So Definitely knows we've got them. And he knows that we've just screwed the single best chance to beat Abaddon, because that was supposed to be Fantasology. They were supposed to be the opposition. We just screwed them. Whoops.
Screwed them, but we have 4.
Yeah, they only had 3, but also we're a couple of bumbling idiots, and Plato.
But since the fishermen have 1, technically, I mean, is Columbo now trying to conscript us onto his side, or are we going to try to ask for theirs 5th?
Columbo is definitely going to try to pull us in. We'll ask for his, but he'll probably just say no. Who says I have one?
I feel like we need to get away with it somehow, though. Is this a case where the goose accidentally got it and we just run?
What, do we just try to leave?
I don't know. I don't know where this is heading now.
Well, the original idea was that Columbo would basically show up at the end and turn the tide against Abaddon. We found him a little bit ahead of schedule. He didn't really expect to be found yet.
Well, because I guess now we have to find Gollum, which will turn the tides.
And we probably need Columbo's help to do that. Him and his watching station and all that stuff. So he'll be the key to getting Gollum. Then we need to catch Gollum, and then from there we will actually have 6 NFTs and be able to pose a real challenge to Abaddon.
Oh, I guess because we don't have a motive for what to do with them other than stopping Abaddon. And so I guess why wouldn't we side with whatever Columbo says?
Well, I mean, our real objective is to get $5 out of Gollum.
Yeah, that's right.
So we really want to catch him.
NFTs... is there a point? That's funny too. There's a point where one of Tucker and Todd are like, "I can't deal with this. This is so stressful. This all of this is crashing down on my shoulders. I don't want to. It's a Samwise Frodo giving up. No, you can't give up moment. And the other one is like, come on, man. Remember, we're gonna get $5 out of this.
$5. We might even be able to get a pizza.
If we play our cards right. Remember, we're gonna get that $5. $5 out of this. And if we play our card right, I think we might get a pizza.
That'll bring us around all right.
Okay, I'll do it. Fire up the thing.
Yeah, let's find Gollum.
Let's find this creature.
He owes us $5 anyway.
So does it immediately just like satellites like zone in on him?
Yeah, probably. Like,
And
it has to be contemptibly easy.
it
We've
shows up.
been searching all over.
That would be funny too. It immediately finds him. It shows like a heat signature of the NFT like blinking in his pocket or whatever. We look at Columbo and we're like, how you only had one? How do you only have one?
All he needs is one.
True.
That would be his answer. All he needs to make sure that Abaddon doesn't get 12 is to have one and just never lose it.
One meets my conditions.
That actually seems like exactly what he would say. One more thing.
One more thing. Great. One more thing.
Oh boy.
And so that zooms in on Gollum. Does that mean we get to like fly out in like a vertibird or whatever? Like a Black Hawk or whatever?
Oh, we're gonna play the claw game.
Yeah.
So whenever we're flying, it has a grabby claw on the bottom, and we play the claw game and we try to catch him with it. Probably takes a couple of tries and we run out of quarters. Who designed this thing to require quarters?
No kidding. I was just thinking, how do we solve the run out of quarters problem then? Do we have to jump down then? We descend?
Yeah, we drop one of us on the end of the line instead and grab him.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So do we grab him and bring him up, or do we just grab the NFT out of his pocket? I guess we have to have some sort of conflict with them.
Oh, well, if we grab the NFT, he's going to grab onto the other end of it, and we'll drag him up with it.
Okay, that works, yeah.
Yeah, he is not going to let go of that thing.
He bites a finger.
Whose finger, though?
I mean, you're the Hobbit.
Oh, thanks. Thanks very much. I think you should bite Plato's finger off, because Plato's already got lots of missing parts anyway. What's a finger?
That's true. Oh, yeah. Is it even a real finger that he bites off?
Yeah. Probably one of the few last remaining real fingers he has.
Plato says, great, one more thing. One more finger.
And so we've now got Gollum in custody in a little cage thing. He's banging around in there making Gollum noises.
So now I guess that is us. That is with 6 then, right? That's us having 6.
Yes, we now have 6. Read them. Count them. 6 not a fucking things. And a Gollum and a Goose. So
what's good for the Goose is good for the Gollum.
If anything, we now have more than Abaddon.
Do we make a reference to like now what? Well, now comes the end game.
Oh, nice. That's probably
as we're flying away on the helicopters.
Yeah, now we're in the end game.
And it literally is. So this is episode 10. We have 11, 12, 13 left.
Well, now that we have 6, we can probably sit on this and not do a 3-parter.
Oh, I agree. I think this is finishing out this saga. And now this has set up the importance of these things, and now we come back into the future, because this was all a flashback. Now we can pop back into the future where we've just been through the limitless relimiting process.
Oh, so we've had these 6 NFTs and we've been sitting on them?
I think probably, maybe.
Or did we give them to Columbo? I mean, we trust him implicitly because we're stupid.
Yeah, so, he's been sitting on them.
And since his objective isn't to use them, but to keep them out of Abaddon's hands, everybody is probably content to just let him have them. So once we have 6, we can assume that the situation is kind of in like a it's a Cold War, but it's a relative stalemate.
Yeah, and so maybe in the next episode is when we see that Abaddon is starting to make moves. Either the next episode, and somewhere in the next 3, we see that Abaddon is starting to make moves, and it's like, okay, they've initiated. Maybe that's when they initiate Endgame. Anyways.
Well, yeah, and obviously Abaddon has to get all 12 and use them to resurrect Elrond.
Right.
because
Yeah.
that's how the outside starts doing its thing, bursting through.
Yeah, so I guess we'll
But
have to
whatever
lose our stick to them at some point.
yes, but whatever stalemate we have now, it is stable enough that we've been able to just sit on them and it's not been a problem. And to be fair, Basilbub and Columbo are both ancient immortal beings, so like what's a couple of weeks to them?
Yeah, precisely.
So they're content to just sit on it and scheme.
Yeah, and I don't know if it ends on this one with like a voiceover and some montagey kind of scenes of time passing with the stalemate or the Cold War in place, and somebody doing a voiceover of like, we thought we were making the right decisions, we had bonded ourselves and decided the fate of blah blah blah, and then it shows a scene of like bad things happening on the Abaddon side. But did any of us really know the cost of the decisions we were making? Dun dun dun.
Well, I know we didn't get a pizza,
Yeah, that's important.
and I still didn't get my $5. I mean, that's the two boys' idea of the cost. They never got their $5 or a pizza.
I'm still waiting on my pizza, and I'm still waiting on my $5. All I know is war never changes.
Until it changes. War has changed. Make up your mind, guys.
I think that's a whole narration. It has to end even. I don't know if it does the montage with the voiceover, but either way, it has to end with the helicopters disappearing into the horizon, and somebody cries out, "I never got my pizza."
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's or my $5. This guy doesn't have a wallet because we've got the guy, but he doesn't have $5.
Oh, just punching Gollum in the cage. Where's my $5? Psh.
Eventually, that boxing glove device is going to break, so we can never use it again.
Oh yeah, it will have to.
Yeah, it's
It
proven to
loses
be
durability.
Yeah. There's got to be like a durability or an energy counter on it because it's proven to be way too useful and effective.
Yeah, more than once. I don't think we ever use anything. Ooh, I got a bourbon tickle in my nose. I don't think we've ever used anything more than once.
Yeah, and that includes our bunny suit, which we have, but we seem very reluctant to use.
We're reticent to use it.
It's one of the few bits of restraint that Tucker and Todd have. But today we didn't have any time for this.
Well, it worked out perfectly because it fitted into our time slot.
Yeah, and I got to beat the literal shit out of Bill Cosby.
A single turd.
Yeah, one shot. I took him out with one shot.
KO. A Kazo.
Yep, it was a one-hit KO. It was a knockout, just like he likes his drinks to be.
Oh, so should the going through the door and into the van, and the van gets knocked back and into the water and sinks, should that all be done as like a Mortal Kombat like finisher, an ultimate finisher or whatever?
I don't know if it should do that, but if there were to be some text on the screen that said flawless victory, I sure wouldn't argue with it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
because that guy got taken out,
knocked out. Yep. Well, I think that is the entire story for today.
Yep, and now that we're in a comfortable stalemate, things are stable. We can set that aside for like probably a two-part confrontation later, unless Abaddon can get those 6 NFTs, resurrect Elrond, have the outside start puncturing into this reality, and then have us find a way to either fix it or end on a low note where we lose and then start the following season up with the ramifications of the outside incursion.
That's how I envision it. I envision it like right at the 11th hour. Maybe it should seem like we're going to have victory, but right at the last minute we lose possession of the tokens, and then they all pass into their possession. And literally the last scene, it's a cliffhanger season 3 ending where Elrond throws us into darkness, and then that's how we pick up next season.
Ooh, do we get tossed into the outside?
I mean, that would be fine with me.
I think we get tossed into the very first rift.
Yeah, and then we have to navigate our way out of it.
Yeah, but that's the end of the season, as we get tossed into the first rift, and we're now Bob from Reboot stuck in the web.
Yeah.
Okay, then
we have to redo it ourselves.
then that can either be that could possibly be done in one episode. Then
That part, yes, but we have 2 other episodes before to start setting it up if necessary.
well, yes, there are still opportunities for Abaddon to like poke its head in and cause trouble.
Right.
And Gollum is still with us, so we got to deal with that. Maybe next episode he'll just be like on the couch watching TV with us and Cody. We just pick up strays.
That'd be funny if Gollum is now just a little buddy for Cody.
Oh, Cody is
A
now
little
his precious.
foster home.
Cody is his precious now.
Here's a new precious for you.
Eventually, Cody eats him.
I found a website it's called a Catchphrase Generator, and I think this is actually a perfect way to sign out. I was saying we need to come up with a new catchphrase every week. Well, we don't have to. We can now use AI to do it.
I love letting AI do everything for me in my life, so let's do it.
Okay.
Well, I'm Tucker.
I'm Todd. Summon the president. There is a problem with the software. Have a good night.
I like that one. Have a good night, everybody.
Yep. Bye, Craig.
Hasta la vista, gentlemen.
Fuck Tucker. Tucker sucks. And fuck Tucker's friend, Todd.